Welcome back to Good Moms, Bad Choices.
I'm Erica.
And I'm Mila.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, my love.
Happy second week of Good Moms Gone Wild.
I can't say Good Moms Gone Wild without thinking, woo!
Woo, woo, woo. Oh my God, you guys, our show is coming up. Our live show is coming up. If you haven't gotten your tickets, hopefully it's not sold out. I don't know.
I feel like it is already.
It could be sold out. It might be sold out. It might be late, but if not, if you're in Philly, DC, Chicago, Atlanta, New York, come through. Click the link in our bio. Come to the Good Moms Gone Wild tour.
Yeah, come get ratchet with us. I can't wait to see you guys in person. Also, excuse my voice. I went out 2 days ago, and because I'm an old bitch, it's taken all of 48 hours to recover, and I'm still not recovered. So this is the aftermath of a fun night.
Wow, that's the night that I wasn't invited to by all my friends on Instagram.
Oh,
I had to look on Instagram and see that all my friends were out except me. Did not get one invitation, but you know, who cares? It's
I
totally
talked
fine.
to you.
Just the fact that we turned in our whole final chapter of our book and I wasn't invited to the celebration.
I fucking talked to you. You were in bed. You looked sleepy. You had Hoary. And I knew you weren't going to come out. I saw your face.
You know how like they say to like keep inviting moms out, like even though you know they're going to say no? I am mom's bitch.
I know you, and I saw exactly your face, and I knew
I could have at least known it was going to happen. So I have to look on Instagram and see all 25 of my friends out except me.
First of all, we only have like 5. Second of all, Sebastian told me, he's like, should I invite Erica? I was like, I just talked to her. I don't think she's coming out. And at first it was just dinner, but then we don't know how to sit the fuck down, so it evolved into fucking more than dinner. And I was like, I don't think she wants to come. I saw her.
That's what you get. That's why your voice is fucked up.
Okay, well, don't be jealous because I had a good time.
I'm not jealous. I'm fine. I'm well rested and healthy, and I don't have a fucking cracked ass voice.
I could just be coming down with a household cough, too.
I pray to fucking God you're not, because that shit lasts 4 months last time.
It might be just a regular household cough, not anything else.
Okay. Yeah, don't scare our guest.
Trapped ya. What's new? Anything going on? Other than that you fucking are pissed with me that I went out without you too.
Nope, that's about
it. And
it.
then also I was like, nigga, we see each other. We're about to be on another month long.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm getting really used to being apart from you. It's fine. Just
wow,
my
friend loves me so much.
It's fine. Whatever.
She wants to hang out with
Next
me
thing I know,
every
she's gonna
day.
get married behind my back.
Never.
It's fine.
Never.
I'm totally fine, guys.
She's not feeling a way at all about any of this.
Nope. Not Scorpioing at all.
The other day I talked to you, I'm like, you sound like you have an attitude. You're like, no, I'm fine. I'm like, okay, bye. It's because I went out. Wow.
No, it wasn't that. It's like 20 other things. But anyway.
But something was wrong.
I don't know. I was in a mood.
Okay. I just want to make sure that my psychic abilities are not off.
I wasn't feeling away. I really wasn't when you called me.
I was in a mood. No,
I just got out of the shower. I'm overwhelmed. I'm not in a mood. But then when you ask me something's wrong, then I'm like, bitch, no, I'm fine. I'm trying to act like everything's fine, and you're asking me if I'm wrong, if something's wrong, and now something's wrong.
Welcome to our water sign friendship / marriage. This is what a regular day looks like. We're not fighting at all. This is regular conversation. This is why our relationship has worked out this long, because she just talks shit, and I'm just like, okay, girl, whatever. Want to go out later? Want to celebrate now? Champagne?
Maybe.
Okay, perfect. It's done. You got it, baby. Anything you want.
Friday night I have a babysitter, so I'm gonna go fucking crazy.
Okay, well I'll be the DD because I retired.
Okay.
2 days ago I retired. I just realized I'm not a young bitch. Stop acting like it. Like, I'm cool.
Okay.
For now, and then next month it'll be different.
Anyway, you guys, we have a special guest who probably thinks we're nuts, and also he's a man, so he's like, what the fuck
did I get into?
Yeah. This is how women argue. I'm sure you know your husband. We'd like to introduce our special guest today is Marcus Black.
Thank you.
Daddy.
Thank you.
Husband. Entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Accidental motivational speaker.
Yes. Somehow.
Love coach.
Love coach.
Yeah.
Relationship expert.
A&R.
Yes.
A&R.
Yeah.
All the things. Hello. Hi.
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. You know, I've been following you for a while, and I'd be seeing like your I guess they're memes essentially.
Quotes.
And I'd be like quotes and
yeah.
memes, and I was like, I could just double, triple fucking tap this shit.
About to break the
I'm
screen.
like, this nigga knows some shit.
This nigga, I like this nigga. I don't know this nigga, but I like him.
I was like, let me DM him.
Nah, I appreciate it.
She did. She like sent. I don't know if you know, we're professional DM sliders.
Okay.
And so we're all constantly in people's DMs like, hi, hello. Yeah. Did you hear me yet? Do you want to come over? No? Okay. So she hit me and she sent me like, I think he should be on the show. I was like, okay, yeah, I like these quotes.
Yeah. Nah, thank you for having me, for one. I just been sitting back enjoying the banter, you know. It's like I grew up in a matriarch.
Oh, did you? Okay, so you know.
I have four. My sister just called me. I have four sisters. I have two daughters. You know,
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Oh, poor man.
Mama, mother-in-law. So it's not even a poor me. I'm comfortable in that space. You know what I mean? I'm actually uncomfortable. Well, I don't want to say uncomfortable. I just don't really like men.
Oh, wow, welcome.
Me either. I get it. I feel you.
Yeah.
I like men.
I like them, but they're like, sometimes we don't think the same.
Yeah, there's some work that.
Nah, and when I say I don't dislike men. You know, my thing is just, I'm me already, right? And so I have a core of my brothers, the same guys I've been around for the last 15, 20 years, and I know them and I trust them. You know, outside with men, it's often like this era of competition. You know, they always trying. It's just difficult meeting men and trying to figure out like what's your angle, like how you really go, where your heart at, really, where your morals at, where your view, like what you actually believe. You
Right.
know what I mean? It's just with women, you just cut like you're not trying to beat me. You know what I mean? 9 times out of 10, you're trying to help me in some shape, form, or fashion, whether I want the help or not. You know.
True.
It's okay. So anyway, I'm happy to be here.
Well, thank you for coming. I would say yes, that's true. I think that I think men and women both have egos, right? But I think only really a man can speak to that. I'm actually surprised to hear you say that, or I guess a man say that. I don't really hear men say like I don't like men besides Damon Dash.
I was gonna say someone just said that recently on our show's game.
Oh, interesting.
Shout out to Damon. Yeah, he doesn't doesn't allow men to his house. He doesn't really like men around him at all. Like he prefers to be around just all women for multiple reasons, but mostly because he just realizes that women, like you said, are nurturers. They're here. They want to help you for the most part. Of course, there are some women that want to take. Absolutely, but
I mean, I think all women want to
Receive.
receive. I think you guys were created to receive, but that's another. I can take a long walk down there.
I think when I first got introduced to you was from Love and Hip Hop, and like I don't really watch a lot of TV, but was it Atlanta or was it LA? It was LA.
This one, yeah.
I just like I don't know. I vaguely remember was there like a love triangle? And then I saw you online later giving love advice, and I was like, huh. I wonder what happened here. I wonder what spawned this journey.
Right.
Because I know you also have a book. You're an author, right? Mm-hmm. And what is the book? It's the 6.
It's called Love Laws.
Love Laws.
Yeah, Love Laws.
And what's the tagline?
The 6 principles for healthy, harmonious relationships.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, was there something that happened that shifted that caused you to go down this path?
I mean, life happens, right? I think most of us, are born into like dysfunction. I think we learn how to thrive in chaos. I think chaotic situations and toxic relationships is normal for us. That's what we grow up around. So my first, 10 years of dating, seriously was just toxic. And I thought it was normal because it was normal for me, but I didn't know it was unhealthy. I know it didn't feel right, but you look up and your parents been married 30 years off dysfunction. So it's like, I guess this is how it goes. And then you just get tired of losing. You know what I mean? The same way. It's like, and you just want to break these generational curses over your family. So I just started doing the work. I wanted to be a better person for myself. And then, I wanted my daughters to have, I'm like, yo, they're going to pick a guy that's like me, like this. Would I want my daughter to date me like that?
Right. That's a real question.
And then but I think I've never been a bad person. I just think it's the process of maturing.
Right.
But I'm someone who's more intentional about maturing and growing than others, So
How old are you?
I'm 37.
When's your birthday?
September 2nd, I'm Virgo.
Okay. We always ask signs. You know, we're some LA ass bitches.
Yeah.
What's your sign? You sound smart.
Is that an LA thing?
I don't know. A woman thing.
That's what they tell us.
We've heard.
Yeah, when you said Scorpio, I was like, okay, sweet.
Yeah, my dad's a Virgo. I know a little something about y'all. It's so funny. I was having this conversation with my friend yesterday, and I was saying to myself, I'm like, our fathers so in a world where like trigger words or like big words like narcissism and daddy issues and like these kind of words are just, I think people really know what they mean now. Our fathers so unaware that they are basically that they could be the result of their daughter's daddy issues, that like they have no self-awareness, that like some of their actions presently are the manifestations of daddy issues as their daughters become women. Because like I was just thinking about like my daughter and just like my friends who have kids and daughters and their fathers and the things that they choose to do, and I'm like, do you really not think that, like, I'm just wondering, like, how do men become more self-aware in a time where I think you have you have access to everything to become self-aware. And like you just said that you decided to do the work. I'm not saying that you were going to cause your daughter daddy issues or anything like that, but what was the work that you did and how did you find it? Like, how did you know, like, how did you identify that maybe you were navigating relationships in a toxic way and then make the change?
I mean, it's a process. Like for me, I got tired of losing. I got tired of toxic relationships.
Losing in what way? Like losing your girl? Like
just having unhealthy relationships. Like when you're in a toxic environment, you know you're in a toxic environment. And even if you don't know the way out, you know that this is not right. You know, it doesn't feel right to your spirit. Like at least it shouldn't. You know, if toxicity feels good to you, you might be one of the 10% that enjoy confront. There's people who enjoy confrontation. I'm the furthest from that. You know what I mean? Like I don't like confrontation at all. I don't like problems at all. I want healthy relationships, but I just didn't know how to achieve it. You know, for me, it's such a disconnect between men and women, and you know, every license on the face of this earth. I don't care if you want to be a barber, or you want to be a makeup artist, or you want to be a nail tech, or you want to be a plumber, or you want to every license. You got to go read and study and pass a quick little test. Nothing heavy. I'm not saying you got to, like, it's heavy, like, you know, but you got to know something.
Right.
But this marriage license, you pay the quick little $100, $90, whatever the fee, and you are now cleared to go ruin your life.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
And somebody else's.
That's true. That's true.
The way we expect to have healthy relationships with no information is actually one of the most, like, it's like one of the wildest concepts in the world. Like, do we actually think this was gonna work?
Right.
And is it like, it's so normal not working that it doesn't even feel where it's like, of course, like, let's just dive and let's just try it. Like, why not? Let's just fuck off 10 years.
Fuck it.
Yeah, like,
we live forever.
Yeah, as if we have all day, you know. And it's a narrative. Like, I think a lot of men feel like we have more time than women. Nah, like it's cold outside. You know what I mean?
Statistically, we live longer.
For me, I just was like, yo, I focus on not necessarily being a better husband. I just wanted to be a better person. You know what I mean? I wanted to be a more solid person. I wanted to be somebody who, you know, you have to figure out what you believe. Like, in order to be solid, you have to figure out what you believe before you can stand on it. You like, what do you stand? Everybody say they you know, I'm solid or I stand on it. What do you believe in? Do you even know what you believe in? You know what I mean? And so I spent like from 25 to like my early 30s, really my early 30s was just unlearning all the toxic bullshit that had been, you know, bestowed upon me. We kind of, cause we're born into it, right? It's like you watch your dad and you like, okay, well, I guess this is how it goes. You watch your mom and all right, I guess that's.
What would you say one of those toxic things are? I'm curious to know. Like, what was one of the toxic things that you thought were part of who you are that you had to unlearn?
Communication would be a big one for me. You know, I'm naturally a calm person until I'm not. You know, and I think toxic arguing and yelling and raising your voice. I'm not you know, I never been one to be like, you bitch, you hoes and all that stuff, but I'm definitely at you, like yelling at the top. And for me, that was normal. And like growing up in the inner city, it's like if you want to be heard, you raise your voice. Like this is you in Chicago, like you can't even get a conversation, you can't even get a word out if you're not yelling. Like we're all supposed to be yelling. Mm-hmm. This is normal. It's not normal. When was somebody gonna tell me this is not a normal practice? You know what I mean? And so it wasn't until I met my wife, and well, I don't want to say when I met her because we definitely did our argument. But she's more she's a Libra, so she's more diplomatic, and she's more trying to see it from all angles and everything. But one day I was yelling, I was in my bag, I'm closing, like I'm right for sure, you know, and I'm raising my voice, and she's just like, after I get done, she responds in the lowest tone. And she's like, Marcus, when you raise your voice at me like that, for one, I don't hear nothing you're saying, and it hurts me. And I'm like, yo, I'm a fucking dirtbag. Like, you like, I'm the worst person on the face of this earth. Like, and you know, I tell women this all the time. It's a way to articulate, to communicate with a man that it just murders us.
Okay, tell me. I need to know.
It was that.
Oh, that? Okay, so just really calmly. Okay.
It's respect. Like, I believe you can love a woman into doing damn near anything for you. And you can respect a man into doing damn near anything for you. Mm. A man who feels respected by you, just tell him what to do. You know what I mean? A man will slide down a razor blade slide and land in a pool of alcohol with some respect and some you know, honor.
What does respect though mean to a man? Like, because I think that's like, I mean, maybe it depends what man you're speaking to, but like, like, is it disrespectful to tell? Like, because some men view you telling a man your needs as disrespectful, almost. I mean, I guess it's the delivery of what your needs are. But like, I'm just curious because I've heard before that I'm disrespectful.
You need more clarity because you're in
I
fact
need to know.
I've been told you're disrespectful.
But I think you know, I haven't been around you like that, so I don't you're a little spicy. So I can see how it may read like that. Some men are hypersensitive also, and everything makes them feel disrespected. You know, like for
everything
me,
is an attack.
Yeah. Respect is more of an energy for me. You know, it's a spirit of respect. You know, it's a tone and an energy and your disposition, how you're sitting. Like, I can see respect on your face or disrespect. You know, and or not even disrespect, but the lack of respect. You know what I mean? Because just because you don't respect me doesn't mean you're disrespecting me either. You know, respect is earned, but it's a certain energy. I can look at, like, Brooke could get to talking to me sometime, and she's not the type to raise her voice, but like she can have a certain look on her face or like have like a dismissive energy. I'm like, yo.
You're doing that thing.
Nah, like you don't play with me.
Yeah.
Like, and she that's not her as a whole.
Of course not.
You know, people have this idea of who they think
perfect.
Brooke is.
We ain't perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
People think Brooke is just like TV is such an interesting place, right? Because people believe what they see. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And Brooke is one of the most respectful, calm. I can't be with a woman that's disrespectful. Like it's literally a deal breaker for me. Mm-hmm. I can tolerate cheating before I can tolerate a woman that's disrespectful. Like,
I mean, I agree. I don't take to disrespect. I mean, I need to be loved, but I also need to be respected. I need both. Like, there's a like.
Well, I think if you love someone, you respect them.
Not always.
True.
No.
I think.
That's interesting.
Right. What? If you love someone, you respect them?
I mean, if you know what love is.
Right, but I think that's
most people don't love themselves.
Yeah,
right. They don't even love themselves, right?
Yeah, I was just thinking about what you asked him about, growing up in households that are toxic and seeing those examples of love, and then ultimately seeking them in adulthood because it feels familiar to you. But on top of that, like another layer, I think as a man, I think for us particularly, when we see men that seem like, oh, you have common sense. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like, wow, he's so fucking smart. And I think it's like what we're asking for is not much, but unfortunately, I think there's that, a lot of times in Black communities and Black households, like brown, like our level of understanding of what healthy love looks like isn't always like the prime example. And then on top of that, like for men have the disadvantage of living in a society that is patriarchal. So you being disrespectful is, I mean, not you specific, but men upholding this narrative of like just higher than the woman and not having to reciprocate equally. Like, I mean, we see it right now, and I'm always shocked that like men are talking this way and acting this way as if almost like, bitch, are you stupid not to understand? Like, you're never gonna get wifed if you act this way or that way. I see that a lot more than I ever, like, especially amongst Black men. And I think it takes a particular type of emotionally like evolved person to be like, okay, first of all, that's crazy. Even as a man, even as the person being like the person who gets the high, the long end of the stick, you have to be a certain level of mature to be like, okay, that's fucking nuts. I would never ask someone to do that for me. If I love them or if it's just like we're both human type shit. And I feel like, unfortunately, like society has made it so men get away with it because they benefit from it. And so a lot of men won't take the effort, the mature thinking approach to be like, okay, that's some bullshit. I was even like, there was something on Instagram recently. I don't know if you guys saw it on the Shade Room. It was a girlfriend asking this guy some questions, and she's like, so you can go on holiday with your friends? He's like, absolutely. She's like, so can I go on holiday with my friends?
I saw that, yeah.
And he was like, fuck no. Yeah. That's disrespectful. He was like, you're gonna be at some nigga's table because your friend knows him and he bought a bottle and you think that's fucking cute? Fuck no, you can only go places with me. And I was thinking, this sounds absolutely insane.
It's
but
sick.
I look at the comments and men are like, yeah, like don't be at the table with a nigga. I'm like, but you could be on vacation in Colombia, like tricking off money on some bitch that doesn't speak English. Like, I'm confused.
No, these times are very telling, right? Because we're in an era, like we're in the podcast era, we're in the platform era. Everybody has a voice, right?
Wow.
And so for a long time, you may be like, even me as a man, I was unaware of like how people feel, how men feel about certain things. It's like certain things you just didn't talk about. And then you have, Justin LaBoy, which is, shout out Just, that's my brother, or like, the late Kevin Samuels. And you have these people who are they're taking aggressive stances, and you have men coming out the woodwork like, woo, yes, somebody said it. I'm like, whoa, like this is,
but you
this
really,
is, this is a lot. Like, these aren't light topics.
Right.
They're very heavy, and it's like, whoa. It feels like when Trump got in office and everybody comes out like, yeah, you're like, oh, this is what you guys been waiting for.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's definitely true. I mean, I think people pick and choose, like they pick and choose their messiahs, right? Like they like take a little bit of here, take a little bit of there, or they just pick one, or they pick this or the other. And it's definitely true. Like we are in the age of platforms and people feeling like experts in everything. And granted, you can be an expert in your own opinion, right? Like that's your opinion. That's not necessarily.
You can be. Most people aren't even experts in their own opinion.
It's true because they just say shit.
They don't know what they believe.
Yeah, no, it's a wild time, especially I think for women. And our platform is definitely about just, I mean, this theme of this month is Good Moms Gone Wild. I mean, and why is it that? Because are we wild moms? I mean, to some maybe, to others we're really empowering moms, but I think for us and the things that we do and what we have found as we grow in this space, we've been very protected because I think most of our demographic is women. But as we venture into talking to more men, being interviewed by men, I find that there's like a definite distaste in our freedom.
Yeah.
In our wildness, in our desire to, I guess, have autonomy over our bodies, the way we feel and the way we use them, the way we use our words. And essentially, I believe there's an attack on free women, especially within the Black community.
On free women?
Yeah, women that are just, and I mean, when I say free, I mean sexually liberated. I mean women that are, you know, honest and vocal about whatever they want to do with their bodies, how they want to express pleasure and spend their free time. And, you know, like, and especially, I mean, added to the fact that we're also mothers, like, forget about it. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, and we're single mothers? Oh.
I know why you're single. That's why you're single.
Oh, that's why you're single.
You know, like that.
Yeah.
It's an attack on I don't disagree with you. I agree with that. I just think it's an attack on free thinkers in general. You know, and I think it always has been. Like, if you want to go back to slavery, it's like certain things you guys, you know, that feels wrong. You know what I mean? But it's like people have an agenda and they're pushing the agenda, and anybody that goes against the agenda, we're attacking. Like the white folks that stood with us, they got attacked. You know what I mean? So.
Well, it's not even the agenda. I think it's a lot of times where, like, the free thinkers are mirrors to people, and if it makes you feel uncomfortable or triggered, then it's wrong.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like
people hate it.
if you know, me twerking in my bathing suit on Instagram with my daughter in the background triggers someone, like, oh my God, her daughter's for sure gonna be a hoe now, like guaranteed. Like, what? Like, I mean, and have I done that? Probably. I'm not even saying there's not. I mean, you can go try and find it. I don't know if it exists. Probably somewhere on the internet. But I'm just thinking of, like, just me seeing women that have done that, and like the shame that has like fallen upon them for doing that. And it's like, but why? And like, or just like, you know, me and Mila, we smoke weed. Our kids know we smoke weed. We don't hide that we smoke weed. Just like parents drink fucking whiskey and take shots in front of their kids, and they don't hide that shit.
Right.
It's like, there's just such a, I think, and I for lack of a better word, attack on these ideals that women, and Black women specifically, can't do certain things after motherhood, or can't do certain things, period, and become less valuable because of that. Become like, oh, you're not marriage material. I mean, especially in the age of the Kevin Samuels, and that nigga, I hope he's resting in peace, but not really. Sorry.
Yeah, he's different.
I just think he was really toxic. I really think he was really bad for women. And like, granted, like, some people, you know, agree with some of the things that he said, and maybe he said some good things. I didn't hear him, but
I think there's something to be said, you know, in the era of free thinkers, when, especially like in our community, what's triggering for me about that person, or about like this era of a lot of these like disrespectful men coming out of the woodwork to say you're not worthy or you're not deserving, is that, like, as Black people, we need to find like you said, love of self and love for each other. So like, for a Black man to come and distastefully disrespect, you know, women on the like, for the love of bettering them, that doesn't work. That doesn't translate. Like, that's not going to uplift like my counterpart. You know what I mean? And so I think it's destructive more than it's constructive. And I think when you deliver a message that way to your people, and you're doing it in the name of protecting them or encouraging them, it's not real. It's for entertainment. And that's what I have a problem with. Like, you are down disrespecting women, Black women, that in which you came from, you know, just to say you're not worthy or you're not good enough. Who the fuck are you?
This is why I was really excited about coming on you guys' show. I was actually excited about it. If you look online, I don't do podcasts. Like, there's not footage of me. I don't really play in the space. One, because my goal is to actually have an impact and help people. I'm not sitting up here like trying to think of viral clips and see how I can, you know, that's not what I'm here for. Also, you know, a lot of men have invited me to their podcast, right? And you know, I'm like I believe what I'm saying. Like I mean what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? And I'm somebody that's like willing to die for what I believe in. You know what I mean? So it's a very sensitive space when you got somebody sitting up here talking about, oh no, you out of your mind, bro. Watch you, like, be careful. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not even like I'm not here to go back and forth into, you know, and I don't want to put any other black man's perspective down. You know what I mean? But you know, I'm more interested in sharing and dialogue and making sense. And then a lot, you know, what's refreshing about you guys is you guys are women in the space, and it's so many men out here, right, that are hurt in their messages. Like when you talk about Kevin Samuels, right, like, and I'm not ever gonna say anything bad about Kevin Samuels. You know, God bless him. I think he made some really awesome points, right? However,
Like what?
I mean, I wouldn't have one at the top of my head, but I remember seeing clips and thinking, you know, that makes sense. It was the angle in which he was coming and how he was sharing his information, and you know, it seemed like it came from a very unhealed, hurt place. You know what I mean? You know, I remember my pastor used to say growing up, the truth without grace is just being mean. Like, you're just being an asshole. Like there's no need to be a dick. You know what I mean?
Not necessary if you're really trying to help.
Right. And so it's just refreshing, you know. And like I said, this is just naturally I'm more comfortable, you know, with women.
Well, I mean, I like we said, like we super appreciate. I mean, in this era of a lot of just unhealed and immature men, it is a breath of fresh air to scroll the internet and see some positive shit from a black man. Yeah. I think sometimes as black women, we feel disregarded by black men and unprotected. And like safety, you know, is really big for women in general. And if we don't feel that from our people and from each other, like it's hurtful. It really is. I know you post like a lot of motivational things, and do you have an affirmation for us today?
I don't have a particular affirmation, but I wake up in the morning and like part of my self-love is like I do affirmations. Love affirmations is one of my love languages. Love, affirmation, and physical touch. So I feel like, you know, a lot of times you have to give yourself the love. You have to feed your own love language. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I'm big on you know, just health. You know what I mean? I'm healthy. I'm wealthy. You know, I'm whole. I don't harbor any unforgiveness. I'm love. You know, I feel good. I make others feel good. You know what I mean? I'm just about wellness as far like mind, body, and spirit. Mm-hmm. So those are the things I claim. My work ethic has always been crazy. I think money is easy to get. You know,
I like that. Money is easy to get.
It's just money.
I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, you know? I'm whole, and money is easy to get.
Yeah, I'm
healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm whole, and money is easy to get. Yeah, I feel that.
I made that a thing. That was cool.
Oh yeah, I feel that. We're gonna make it a post and everything.
See, you see that? You see how easily women add value? Like. We didn't even look for it.
We're gonna create the content. We're both gonna post it, and everyone's gonna get this health and wealth and healing. Via Mr. Marcus Black.
And then you know, a lot of men don't follow me. That I don't think men like me because, again, we're in a Justin LaBoy and Kevin Samuels era, right? And toxicity is popular, and men. Like, why don't you hold women accountable? Why don't you tell the women, like, you're always talking to us? First of all, calm down.
Please calm down, guys.
You know, as one, for me, I'm obviously not a woman. I don't know the first thing about being a woman. So how can I hold a woman accountable And I don't know shit that comes with being like, oh, is this logical? Does this even make sense? And I feel like women can't hold men accountable either. You know, you don't know the first thing about being a man. How you gonna tell me what I should be doing? You know, the most we can do is share. We can share perspectives. You know what I mean?
I think it's more being accountable for like the care of each other, right? Like I'm telling you what I need. Are you going to take care of that for me? If you say that's something you want to do, that's what I think women are
in a relationship.
Yeah,
though.
but I think that's a lot of times that's what women are trying to hold men accountable for is the care of themselves, but also like the protection of us. And I think a lot of times us as women, we don't protect men either because we're like, fuck you, you didn't protect me. Like I'm about to get the bags, I'm about to take the cash, I'm about to do this, I'm about to, all these things because I mean, we're in the era of like, I think it's like a split era. We're in the era of like city girls where like, it's like, fuck these niggas, get the bag. And then we're in the other era of like, let's heal the world, It's like a split down the middle.
Gotta pick a side.
It's like one or the other right now. It's like, there's like no happy medium. But I do realize, I think me and Mila, like when we first started our podcast, it was very much fuck niggas. And now, we're like a little bit more like we need them.
No, we've always been like fuck niggas. We also want a husband. We've said both.
But we realized that we had to stop saying that so much if we actually wanted that. And we actually wanted men to I want men to be healed. Women are healing at a rapid pace over here. Like we are. And there's like, I think men are triggered by you because you're holding men accountable and they're triggered. Like I said, like you're holding a mirror to them and they're like, whoa, you're supposed to be on our side. Like whose side are you on?
Don't let them get any self-respect.
But I really just introduce conversations. I don't bash men. I don't or women. You know what I mean? Often I'm talking about myself or to myself or about my thing, like my life and things that I've been through. You know what I mean? People are just men don't. I believe men are the foundation of society, right? And until men take our rightful place and be fully accountable and responsible for the world we're in and what we've created and the way it flows and just our homes and our women and until we get in our place, I feel like the homes are always going to be out of order, which is going to cause the community to be out of order, which is going to cause our entire world to be out of order. And men would always want to start, let's start with, well, if she would just not, it does. I understand, right? In theory, but it just doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm responsible for my home. I was talking to this kid from Philly. I went live with him. He tapped in. He was like, and he just disagreed. He was like, but what if my girl, like, she's doing this? And I'm like, okay, well, I said, what do you do for a living? He said, I work at Wingstop. I'm a manager at Wingstop. I'm like, okay, cool. That's, you're a manager at Wingstop. I was like, now, what's your responsibility? Like, do you cook or he was like, no, I don't cook. I don't, I just run, the place. If I have to, I will. But I say, cool. So what happens if the fryer breaks? And he's like, I got to fix it. I said, oh, well, the person who broke the fryer doesn't have to fix the fryer? He's like, oh, I see what you're saying. I'm like, yeah, that's leadership. That's accountability. It's whether I broke this or not, it's my responsibility to fix it and initiate the repairs. It's not the person who is making the person with the fries. Not only do they not probably not know how to fix the fryer, they're not qualified to fix the fryer. They're not taught how to write reports or get in touch with management or this is not what they do. You know what I'm saying? And so when you talk about the home, my home, I'm responsible for it from the front to the back. I'm responsible. I don't run my home 100%. You know what I'm saying? I run my portion of the home, but I'm responsible for all of it, even the part that I don't do. You know what I'm saying? I'm responsible for overseeing my home as a whole. And when my home is in order and everything is right, I give myself a pat on the back because I know I'm on my shit. And when my home is out of order, whether it's my kids or my wife or any type of anything, I have to get it in order. And the longer we stay out of order, the more it's my responsibility. Sometimes I'm the one who caused it. Sometimes I didn't, but I'm responsible for fixing it. And until men have that mentality, everything is gonna be off.
Right. And until women stop trying to fix men.
Can't fix men.
You can't fix a man. They have to want to fix themselves.
And you got to want to fix yourself.
And that's really...
And stop dating men who need fixing.
I mean, I think there's, you can't bank on somebody's potential. Obviously, there's potential, and you account for that. But like, even I think we have one of the questions from one of our people was, how long is too long to wait for somebody to change? Like because I think there's a lot of women who overextend themselves and hope and wish and wait, and like you could love somebody and still know that like you got to leave them the fuck alone.
Yeah.
But that's really loving yourself first and more. And be like, I love you, but I have to go. And I think women sometimes lack that because we're so nurturing. And it ultimately fucks us, because 10 years goes by, however many long, X amount of kids are here now in a toxic situation. And I agree, like, in ways that men are the foundation of the world and we have to take responsibility for the state of the world. But I also feel like women, we're the womb. We create it all, this shit. We're like emotionally more superior. There are things that I think if men would stop with the back and forth and would just genuinely pour into women. If you pour into your woman, like the world will be healed because inevitably we pour back. Like that is just in our DNA as creators, as the creators of people. I think I went down a really long rabbit hole on Soleil's page. Who? Soleil. The rapper from back in the day. Genuine's wife. She's not Genuine's wife no more. She's somebody else's wife. She's from the she's like a tantrika, like a very healed spiritualist. And my dad mentioned her, and I was like, let me go find out what Soleil's doing. And I went down like a deep wormhole. But she was talking about, worshiping the women. Even as little girls, like worship them, like anoint them with oil, wash their feet. Like when you train women to like expect to be worshipped, and you do that from a small age into womanhood, it automatically women will do what they do. And when we feel safe and when we feel loved, that's when we give the most and then we pour into everything else. And I thought that was like such an interesting, just like thought, because as little girls, I don't think we're taught to be to expect to be loved and worshiped that way. In fact, we're kind of taught that we have to prove our worthiness. You're gonna maybe you're gonna get a man. Maybe you're gonna if you do this and you do that, you don't act like a hoe and you don't twerk online, you will get a husband. And if you don't, and if you got your cleavage out, that's not gonna happen. Like there's a separation from our feminine divinity. Like we don't start there. We have to get to our 30s to be healed, to become secure in ourselves, to realize some men you'll love, but they're not emotionally evolved enough to accept you as you are, and that has nothing to do with you. So I thought it was I think we're all in a huge imbalance, and it shows. The world's fucked up.
That's why I feel like self-love is the key. It's not about starting with men or women. Everybody has to start with themselves. The same way men need to pour into women, but that's the second step. Men need to pour into themselves first, and the cycle has to stop somewhere, and only you can stop the cycle with yourself. I know so many women that are big contributors to raising men who are gonna be toxic, just a mess. You know what I mean? And yes, from the time you guys are little girls, you should be nurtured and cared for a certain way. Everything starts at the childhood, on a childhood level though. And I was telling one of my homegirls recently, it's like, yo, stop yelling at your son. You don't want to condition him to tolerate disrespect. You know what I'm saying? He's either gonna get older and he's gonna have an overreaction to women who talk to him like you, or that's gonna be normal. He's gonna allow women to talk to him like that, which is neither one of those are good play. And there's so much that comes from it. You know what I mean? So you have women raising men who, it's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg, right? And that's why everybody, like, singleness is the foundation of all relationships. And I feel like your relationship can only be as strong as you are single, you know? So your ability to forgive starts with your ability to forgive yourself. Your ability to love starts with your ability to love yourself. Your ability to do everything is based off of you. So we have to, you know, start with ourselves, and then we have to stop getting into relationship with men and women who are not whole. You know what I'm saying? Two halves do not make a whole. Like it may be in math, but not in relationships. You know, two wholes make a whole. You know what I mean? And so you have so many women that, you know, and all women aren't on the same level, but I know some women who are really healers, and there's quality women, but they're drawn to broken, downtrodden men. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, you're gonna have a long, turbulent journey through life if you don't stop trying to heal broken men. Like, you know what I mean? Because you can't fix a man, and a man can't fix a broken woman. You got to do that on your own. That's self-work.
You hear that, ladies? You cannot fix a man. I think more women really need to hear that from a man. Because I think women really, they do think, like, I mean, we are all guilty of it. We've all done it. Prayed over your man, like, prayed to God, went to church, like, might have put some shit in his food, like, just did every fucking trick you could possibly think of to think, like, if only he could just fix this one thing, he'd be perfect. He'd be the perfect person for me.
But a lot
those things work, by the way.
But that sometimes that shit don't work.
They work for men who want that for themselves.
You have to want that, really.
I be telling people all the time.
But men say they want that though too. Then there's the ones that say they want that, but then maybe they think that they do, but they really aren't.
I gotta
ready.
stop letting these niggas talk y'all to death.
You really got it. You gotta cut this talking.
Stop letting these niggas talk y'all to death.
Show me. Stop talking.
You know, but I tell people DM Brooke and be like, what prayer did you pray? How did you get Marcus?
Was it Sierra's prayer?
What is it?
You must have had it before Sierra.
Brooke didn't make Marcus do nothing. Brooke couldn't make Marcus marry her. She couldn't make me do anything. You know what I mean? Like, a man will. This is not even a man thing. This is a human thing, right? Humans really don't really by the time we're into like our maybe like 13. Early teenage years, we really are who we are. You know what I mean? Especially here I am in my 30s. Like I'm locked, right? So the only way I'll change is if I see something as a immediate threat to my overall well-being. If I don't, it don't matter what you think about it. If I don't think it's the biggest deal in the world, I'm not gonna change it. And you, like, women need to recognize that and back off. You know what I'm saying? Because all you're gonna do is make me hide it for you. And it's only so long I can hide it. Then that's why it's a sight, you're gonna keep dealing with it. Like, well, I just want you to stop doing this. But if he don't want to stop doing it, but he wants you, because he's not gonna stop doing it for you. He'll stop doing it for him if he realizes, like, it's a big L. But, like, if he recognizes it, then he'll change it. If he recognizes that as a problem. But if he doesn't view it as a problem, I'll just tuck it in. What say on Friday, I'm gonna just tuck mine in. I'm gonna just tuck mine in. Debo coming. It's like, y'all, Debo, here come Debo, just tuck it in. Because, you know, there's not enough transparent conversations being had. People aren't being, men, listen, we already don't feel like we can tell y'all the truth. Men don't feel like, when I was in high school, right? Why would I go home and tell my mom I got in trouble at school, or Miss Anderson, this happened, she told me? Why the hell would I do that? Why would I come bring you information that I know you can't receive well? Does that even make sense? And can you blame me? You know, with my relationship, and I sing the highest praises for Brooke, because she really, like, Brooke created the environment for honesty. I've never been a liar, but kinda.
You would tuck that shit in.
Well, I'm Mr. Well, you didn't ask the right questions.
Ask the right questions.
Yeah,
So
like
I didn't.
I was the king of withholding information. As some reason I felt better. I felt like I'm not lying.
That's not lying, right?
And it is in a sense.
Yeah.
You know, it's not lying, but she created the environment for honesty. Like she said, she wanted the truth, and then we started having dialogue about little things, and she's never used my truth against me. And if you want a man to open up and be honest with you and be emotionally open with you, we can be mentally open. You want him to be emotionally open with you, you have to be able to take the truth, or accept the fact that you can't take the truth, and don't hold him accountable for not being honest with you. It's like y'all be trying to set men up.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Sure.
I saw a post yesterday, and I don't remember exactly what it said, but it was basically like, women want men to be honest out the gate. Okay, so if I meet you and I'm like, listen, you are beautiful. I love your hair. I love your eyes. I'd love to have sex with you and then get to know you. It's over from the moment that I don't even get off first base. I don't even get to first base. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I believe less than 10% of women will be like, okay, I fuck with that. Most women will be like, are you out of your mind? Cool. Now I know who not to deal with.
We throw sex in there. It becomes like, well, then you're gonna have sex and then you're gonna be done with me, because that's what women. I mean, that's what we've been told as well.
We've all been lied to.
Yeah. So we throw sex into the first interaction, depending on where I'm at. Then yeah, I'm gonna be like, this nigga just wants to fuck.
But if I let you know that I'm here for sex first, because no man, and I be careful with blanket statements, but most men don't look at a woman and be like, yo, man, I'm gonna be the hell of a husband to her. Like,
I'm gonna get to know her. I'm gonna
add so much security, and I'm gonna be there, and like when she needs to talk, like I just can't wait to just ask her, baby, you need to talk. Do you want to have a conversation? This does not cross our mind.
But I'm wet thinking about it.
Right. See what I'm saying? And this is why dialogue is necessary, right? Because if men knew, like I told my guy the other day, like, she always want to talk. I'm like, dog, this is a great thing. Like, as long as your woman wants to talk to you, you're in a great space. When she don't want to talk to you no more, that's when you're in real trouble with her. When she gets quiet, that's when shit's getting weird.
Right.
Talk. Like, sometimes I be having to set an hour to the side just so Brooke can talk. Like, fuck, what you, baby, what you want to talk about anything? Well, yeah. So, and I be like, I just sit up there. All right, let's just run through it. Can we get it out all in one setting? Just so, can we not spread it out through the whole day? 'Cause I don't have time for that. But can we just do it in one sitting? Like,
but I think that's true. I think for women too, we really have to be self-aware to create a safe space for honesty. Because let's keep it real. Like, you want honesty, but also you're gonna be irritated if you hear the wrong thing, and you want your nigga to say the right thing and do the right thing, but they don't speak the same language as us.
It's almost like with kids. We always talk about our kids and like being parents that kind of have to like take one to the chin if you want to create an honest space for your kids. Like, you want your kids to be able to come to you. So if your kid comes to you and says, "Mom, I had sex," and you're like, "Whew." Like, you want to like kind of curse them out. But you also got to keep it cool because you want to keep that conversation open. You kind of have to extend that same idea to your relationship.
That's it.
Like, bitch, shut the fuck up.
I mean, I did.
Just shut up. Go tell your girls. Go tell your girls.
That's literally it.
You know, go tell your girls and then just say, okay, baby, thank you for sharing that.
But I also feel like creating that type of space, eventually, like, it takes practice. Because Orlando would tell me shit and I was like, okay. Oh, you had sex with a coat check girl? Oh, okay, that's totally necessary. But so necessary. But also practicing not caring, but watching how I react, and then analyzing, does that shit really matter? Are you about to stop fucking with this nigga because this is what he did?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, no, you're not, bitch. You're not about to leave the nigga because of this shit. But what it created for me, like having brutal honesty, it honestly created a space that I began to feel more comfortable saying exactly how I felt. Mm-hmm. Because at first, like, I'm a cool girl. Like, I'd be like, I don't give a fuck about that. I don't give a fuck about anything because I'm sensitive on the inside alone. Not in front of people. You're not going to hurt my fucking feelings because I did something similar yesterday. Oh, you did? Oh, me too. But it created an environment where I had to be aware of how I was reacting. It also made me feel more, it was easier for me to be brutally honest. And then it also, after I realized like we could talk about things, then I'm like, that fucking irritated me. Let me tell you why. Yeah. And then I had the wherewithal to analyze the why. Like, is it because you had sex? Like, niggas fuck. People fuck. That's one thing. But no, it's like how you did it. It's because I didn't hear from you. It's because you said you're about to go home and then nigga, how the fuck this happened? You know what I mean? There was other things that were actually bothering me. But had I not practiced feel like making him feel safe and then making myself feel safe, I wouldn't have had the balls to be like, actually, I don't like that.
Yeah.
And now we're in a place where I'm like, I don't like that. He's like, okay, I won't do that. You know what I mean? But it took practice because I can be the woman to be like, nah, nigga, fuck you. You know what I mean? I think we all have that ability because we're not it's just easy. It's easy to do that.
This is why singleness is so important. Like, I'm married, but I'm very single, right? And I'm single, but I'm not available for other women. But I'm single, right? I'm my responsibility, right? I am not Brooke's responsibility. I'm not her primary responsibility. She's not my primary responsibility. It sounds crazy, but nothing. She's one of my primary responsibilities. Not before me though, right? And so, because the reason, like my best friend Juan, right? We've been rocking since we were 16 years old, right? And the reason the relationship works is because of singleness. I'm able to deal with him, or my best friend Jennifer. We've been tight. My best female friend since we was 14 years old. It's because we're single in the relationship, right? And we treat each other with unconditional love, because at the end of the day, what you eat don't make me shit, right? Like, I can deal with you with love when you go through something and you feel like that. It's like, oh, you feel like that? Interesting. All right, well, that may not work out for you. But when we, with romantic relationships, we feel like we own one another. It's like, yo, Brooke is not a belonging of mine. First of all, she was grown when I met her. I can understand getting lost if you grew up together. Like, when I met Brooke, we was grown. She was already successful. You know what I mean? We have the opportunity to experience life with one another. It's partnership, right? So if you're gonna do life together and partner up in life together, then partner up with life. Life is tough. It's all type of ups and downs. It's a windy road. It's turbulent. The pendulum is always swinging. It's like, man, be gentle with one another. Be understanding. Be caring. Do you actually care about your man and what he's going through and how he feels about? Like, do you actually care, or you only care about how it impacts you?
Right.
And vice versa. Like, do you actually care about your woman and the things that she deals with on a day-to-day basis and the impact that it has on her, or are you only concerned with the impact that it has on you? Most of us are selfish. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm focused on me. I take care of me. I make sure I'm right? So I don't put too much weight on Brooke. You know? We just doing, that's my best friend. You know? She's my best friend. She's my business partner. And it's fire that we can have amazing sex. You know? That's great, right? The romance, like, that's cool, but Brooke is such a fire person. I'd be honored to go through life with her without the romance, just as a hell of a co-pilot. You know what I'm saying? And so we got to spend more time appreciating one another. But
the sex probably good because, I mean, obviously the compatibility, but like because of all those things, because you have the space to be single in ways, because you can be yourself, because you can show up as yourself, because she can listen to you and not react to you yelling, and she can be, you know, she can be your peace in ways that when you do link up in an intimate way, it's even more amazing. You know, it probably adds to that. I mean, a lot of times people say like the best sex is toxic sex, right?
I beg to differ.
I agree.
I mean, in some ways it can be true, right? I mean, I don't know if it's because it's toxic or it's just because that you guys just have compatibility. I don't know if it's, you know, But I mean, I think like the best sex is with someone that you actually feel aligned with spiritually, emotionally, like all those things, and then the physical comes. You know,
I think the best sex comes with people that you. I think the best relations. I think the best everything comes from people that you can be, that you feel free around, and you can be yourself, and you feel accepted, and you don't feel judged. You know what I mean? Then even in the bedroom, you're down to try things that you wouldn't have tried before. You're open to certain things that you may not have been open to before. You know what I mean? Because you feel comfortable and there's a level of acceptance. You know, we just gotta stop all the judging. Like, why pick a man or a woman that like? Listen, if you meet a guy and he has, you know, he could be an amazing person, but if he's stepping on one of your deal breakers, just get out of there out the gate. Like, why wait to see if something could get better and it's a deal breaker for you? Just shake. You know what I'm saying? You can wait for somebody to get better. What areas like I say this all the time. When you date somebody before you get married, ask yourself, if this person never changes, will I be okay? And if the answer is no, leave it alone right now. If y'all dating right now, ask yourself, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my husband, hopefully before you're married, but if this person doesn't change at all, will I be good?
Can I live like this forever?
If the answer is yes, then you guys are gonna be straight. And then you can wait for the little weird shit that just kind of that's irky. You know what I'm saying? You can wait on those things to change. I'm not wait. If a woman is disrespectful, sweetheart, we'll never even make it to a date. That's a huge respect is a non-negotiable for me. I'm not gonna wait for you to get better. I don't care how gorgeous you are. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care if you got a check. I don't care if you're pussy fire. I won't even get to a disrespectful woman. I'll never even get to the pussy. I don't even want it. I just want you away from me.
I think again, women are used to proving their worthiness, and even if it requires hiding parts of themselves, I think we start out in a way that's like, you could be freaky, but don't tell anybody. You know what I mean? Like, you could be freaky, but shh, only behind closed doors. Like, men don't want it out there. Like, you know, you'll go tell your friend. First of all, women are the biggest freaks. We are the horniest. We are have the dirtiest fucking thoughts. You know, but we've been taught that like that we've been dehumanized in that way. Like, that's not ladylike. So women forget to show up as themselves, thinking that they have to show up, wear a mask. It's like almost standard. So it's like to be in a relationship where you actually feel free to be who you actually are is really the key, you know? Yeah. But I think as women, we are so used to, so many of my girlfriends told me, like, even before we started this show, granted, we're telling all of our business on the internet, but like, you're telling too much too soon. And I'm like, well, bitch, they gonna find out eventually, like, who I am. Like, I'm not the bitch from next door, you know? Like, I'm not the girl next door. And it's gonna take about like 2 margaritas and the right song to come on before they realize. But women, you know, I think.
What's the girl next door?
I don't know.
And at what point does she grow up? Doesn't she? Did the girl next door ever grow up?
She's still living at home with her parents?
Like, does she not have any kids? Does she, like, is she still, if she can't leave from in front of that, what's up with the girl? Nah.
She ain't never left. She never left the neighborhood.
She's only leaving when her husband comes to get her. And I don't know how she's gonna find him and they're doing nothing, but the point is all the niggas want her. I don't know. She's never no one's even seen her. She can only see her through the window, but all the niggas want her.
I think the girl next door
I've been outside, okay, nigga?
I think the girl next door is a girl that's easy to talk to and you know, you have a common ground, like it just feels normal, like you grew up with her. You know what I'm saying? If you know, I don't know if the term, when people say girl next door, they talking about a saint, because
it seems like a girl who's just simple.
Cause let me tell you about these girls next door. Girl. Like, all the girls that I knew in the neighborhood that were over sheltered were like
wild.
They went crazy when they got loose.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, pray for the girl next door. The pastor's daughter, they was wild. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we just, man, love yours. Find somebody that...
You want the girl across the street.
You want the around the way girl.
Around the way girl?
I need an around the way girl.
That was a good record. That was a really good record.
Well, we had some questions. We have time to ask some questions from our people. You know, we have mostly women followers, so when we say like, "There's a man and a husband who has a brain," what do you guys want to know?
Yeah, that's funny.
All of the girls come flocking in. So one of the questions is, I like these questions because oftentimes when we talk about the pregnancy part, we never have the opportunity to ask the man. So I thought some of these questions were interesting. Advice you would give yourself while expecting your child, like while Brooke was pregnant,
Advice I would give myself.
or other men who are expecting.
Be as present as possible, and just, try to be attentive as possible. It's a very sensitive time, and how you navigate through that time is very important, and just understand it's a moment. Be present in the moment and understand that it's a moment. You know what I mean? I think sometimes, your wife or the mother of your child, she may be a little snappy with you. It's a moment. Or sex may be awkward, or sex may go out the window. It's a moment, kind of just allow the moments to be moments and be present in the moment. You're not going to get this moment back, at least not with this child. And just, that's it. I'd say just be present.
I think men think women are like, when they get pregnant, they're like, oh, I'm gonna be fucking so much now. It's like it could be, but it could not be.
Yeah, for me, once the belly gets really like way out here, I just kind of be like, man, let's just.
Why? You're afraid?
Is it it's like a mental thing?
It's a mental block.
You should try to challenge that.
I've
Challenge that block.
He's like, I did it a few times.
You didn't like it.
I've done it twice.
Not twice exactly.
No, he's done 2
I've
kids.
two kids.
I was.
And then with Brooke, my bonus son is like a special needs child, right? He had a stroke at birth, and her pregnancy was really rough for him. And she's older, Brooke's 39, so Shy's 3, so she was like, 36, 37. I remember going to the doctor on an appointment and the doctor saying that, just due to her history and her age, she's high risk. And that's all I needed to just completely check out mentally, you know what I mean? Because in the back of my mind, I was like, well, could that we don't have enough information. Fear comes from a lack of information. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the heck's going on. I don't know what caused my little man to be like this, or like, I don't know what happened, but I just know I don't want it to happen again. And the doctor said you're high risk, and let's just kind of wait this one out, and that's on top of it just being it's a very different experience.
Like sexually.
The belly is just really, like, the belly gets really big, and it's like, man, it's like.
So it's not, is it unattractive?
I can't even say it's unattractive, like, it's not like, it's just like, whoa. Like, it's, what do I, like.
You rub it.
Yeah, it's just, I think, you know what's crazy? I've never heard of this, but I think it would be dope to have sex classes
pregnancy
for like 6 months and up, like when the belly gets big, like different positions to try, and like, because it's like the rough shit goes out the window, like, okay, or does it? I don't know. This is not enough information.
It's uncharted
here.
territories.
I feel like doggy style is a good one. Side. Yeah,
but it's like,
maybe not too much, like
maybe riding,
not too much like choking.
Ride
maybe
how?
riding might be. She would ride you.
How?
It just bounces, baby. It's a rock. It's a lot, right?
funny.
It just
Maybe
seems
it's
like
too much. Like it's me and the baby looking at you.
For me, I'm far too analytical. I'm
So
one of
doggy
those
style
things.
might be your thing because you don't want to see it.
Let me tell you something. I'm one of those
He's gonna
people, like,
disrupt
See that ass.
when I know I'm about to have sex, I have to turn the TV off. I can't have music with words playing.
What?
I'm so
That
like,
Virgo shit.
I know.
Yes.
It's like Virgo
Virgo shit I've ever.
it's-
Focus.
No, it's sick though. It's like, yo, who gave me this weird shit? You know what I'm saying?
Turn all the electronics
Because
off.
I could be mid stroke in a great groove. Like, what that nigga just say?
That's happened to me. Like,
I might listen to be hearing some music. That is a terrible line. Or anything. I'm so easily thrown off. But I know I'm like that. So I just shut everything down. If music is on,
you gotta curate
it's
the
either
playlist.
jazz or it's maybe some Anita Baker like that's playing way in the background. It can't be anything that's like words are jumping out at me. Like the other day I was watching All American and like it was some type of conflict and I was like, yo, focus, what are you doing? Spencer, why would you damn it, Spencer James, why would you do that?
I have literally been having sex and like I'm into it and then I see the TV's on and I see him watch. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you watching TV right now? Are you serious?
Yeah. And so Brooke could just snap me out of it because once you lose me, you lose me. Now we got to start over.
Now we got to start over. It's reset.
Now we got now we got to start over. So.
Oh my God. Okay, well that's good advice.
That was fun.
That was good. There's a lot of pregnancy questions. I feel like maybe she's pregnant right now. Someone said this was a good one. What should I do? What should I be doing to prepare to receive a good man?
You should be preparing yourself as a woman. And I say this all the time. A man who's looking for a wife isn't ready to be a husband. And I think a woman who's looking for a husband isn't ready to be a wife. I think a man should be so focused on his purpose, and his goals and what God sent him here to do. And then what you're gonna do is you'll see him over there working, and it's like, oh, I can help him with that. And that's where you start building. Like the only purpose of the whole thing is partnership. So what are we partnering to do? It has to make sense. So you should just be working on yourself and becoming the best version of yourself and becoming the best asset that you can become, so that when God reveals to you, like you might be around him. You look at how he's over there on that computer and he's just editing in a way. He's like, yo, I know it. I can help him take this shit to a whole nother level. Then you go over there and it's like, of course he's gonna be receptive because he's focused on his purpose and you can help further the purpose. So, boom, this is a match made in heaven. By the way, she's sexy and she smells good and she talks to me nice. This is a win. So yeah, become. I think our journey in life is to become whatever you want to become. Become the best version of yourself. And so that's what you should be doing.
And all the other shit comes.
Don't focus on being a wife. Like,
I don't even know what that means.
I got into a debate with somebody on my live because they was like, so you like, what about your daughters? Like, you telling me you don't want your daughters to be wives? I'm not grooming my daughters to be wives.
That sounds crazy.
Are you?
Thank you. Crazy.
Thank you.
Like the idea.
The highest thing you can be is a wife.
Who said? First of all, who said that getting married was just the greatest accomplishment?
Is the
ever?
goal.
Partnership is a great accomplishment for your goals, right? But who said like I'm gonna groom my daughter to essentially be somebody's servant? Like this is her highest. These niggas are sick. I'm telling you, be careful. Like, stay away from these niggas who are thinking like this.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And really pay attention in this moment because they're telling you what they're thinking. And some of these niggas are weird. Just stay away from them.
They are weird.
Don't try to change them. Don't try to convince them.
And some of these women are weird too.
They are. Because they keep calling, trying to ask, what can I do? What can I do to be?
Do you need toothpaste on your toothbrush in the morning?
But listen, there's nothing wrong with that either. If you want to be a mom and a wife, fine.
Great.
And that's it. If that's your focus, fine. But
that still requires you to do the work on yourself.
Yeah.
It's still you, like, it's not you aspiring and working diligently every day to be this wife. Because who are you then?
Right.
Who are you? My
daughters are masterminds already. They're next level. Like, whoever can get them to be a part of their program, if you can do it, you're next level. Like you're gonna have whatever you're building is gonna be legendary. My daughters are incredible. Just their thought process, their confidence. My little one, she's so intuitive. Like already, like she's a seer. Like she's 3. She already has the shit. My oldest one, she's a healer. She's extremely collaborative. She's smart as shit. I don't know what they're gonna do because these they can do whatever they want to do. Like, and neither one of their mamas is to like. I wasn't wild with my sperm. I have 2 kids. Neither one of them were accidents. Their mothers are amazing. My oldest daughter, her mom can do whatever she wants to do. Like I listen to her when she talks. Sometimes I'm about to do this. I'm like, whatever she says she's gonna do, you can
count on it.
You can bet on it, whatever it is. Just hope she's not against you. It's gonna be a bad look. Same thing with Brooke. Like if Brooke wants something, it's done. And so my daughters are, innately they just have some other shit in them that's different and set apart from their mothers. And then they have great examples of women. You know what I mean? And then they have me as a father. And so you're not gonna, if you're not a man who just gets it and has your mind on purpose and a heart to serve. Like I'm a servant first. I walk into a room and try to figure out where I can add value to any room. You know what I mean? So that's with my women, my children. If you're not coming like that, you're not gonna have a shot at my kids. Maybe early. You may have a shot early, while they're trying to figure life out, because that's gonna happen. They're not perfect. They're gonna have a journeys. They're gonna dabble with their little weirdos. They're gonna have a fuck nigga or two. And then they're gonna engage. They're gonna be like, you know what? You niggas is weird, and you know what my daddy told me about niggas like you.
Well, ultimately, little girls date like their people, like their father, a little bit, hopefully. And if you have the great example, like even better.
Yeah, but I think kids have this stage of being entertained by what's popular and what looks appealing. That it takes some time to shake that off to be like, you know what, that sounded good in theory. Like women want this guy he's edgy enough and he's street enough, but then he's smart enough, but then he opens doors and pulls out chairs, but then he'll grab you by your throat.
Oh, it sounds like me.
Yeah, it's like
sounds like my dream man.
It's like well,
slap me, don't slap me, not like that.
Yeah. Don't you ever
only not now, then.
Don't you ever put your hands on me.
Now, this is the time.
Unless we're in the bed, right? And it's like but even balance comes from evolution, like
experience.
We'll just evolve. It takes time to get there. But like, you're not gonna find this guy at 22.
Because you got to do work on yourself before you attract those men. Because you have to be clear about what it is you want, and it may take some fuck niggas to be like, you're on some bullshit. And now I know the signs.
And then we got to disconnect from the idea of square, right? Like that a man that doesn't do crime is a nerd. Like, when do we start this? Like, I know squares that'll beat the dog shit out of gangsters. I know honorable gangsters. I know dishonorable gangsters.
That's some pussy.
Oh my God, I saw this clip with actually our least favorite person. You know who I'm talking about, yeah. And he has a podcast for no reason, but someone asked him if he would want his daughter to date a Russell what's his name? Russell Wilson or a Future. Yeah. He said he wanted his daughter to date Future.
I think I've seen that.
He's dumb.
That's ridiculous.
He's not a smart guy.
He's not. But I was just like, what?
He's like, well, let me tell you.
He's a square. I was like, what?
But what is? First of all,
like, so you want your daughter to be disrespected?
But now somebody saying it's a square talking, for one. And then what is a square? You know what I mean? Like a square. Now, are we talking about squares or nerds? They're not the same.
No.
A square is anybody who.
A square could be a killer. Okay. It could be a thug. It could be all those things.
I don't.
You don't think so? No. I mean, I think you can be a square. You can be
square is somebody who walks a straight life. You get clean money. Like you're not into breaking the law. Like you're just
but if you don't,
clean and honest.
But think about it this way: like you live a life that is predictable. So do a lot of these people that are in streets. They're living.
There's nothing square about a killer.
I'm just okay, maybe not a killer, but I'm just saying like niggas that are disrespectful, niggas that are consistently doing the same shit over and over again, but they think they're not squares, but actually they are in a square. They're in a cycle.
You want to look up square? Let's look up
I
square.
don't know.
Because
I think
there's
you
there's
don't have
actual-
to go to the Urban Dictionary because I think we're having differences. And where are you from, Marcus? Chicago?
I understand.
She's from the Valley, so
First of all, don't do that. Don't do that. I
Our
understand what a
terminologies.
square is. I'm just debating what that means. Don't do that. I know what a square is. Okay.
What do you think a square is?
I know traditionally it's a nerd, and people would think it's someone that lives by the book, goes like this, goes to college, gets married, does those things. Like I understand what a square is.
Or I didn't know if you're saying like corny or like a square. I think those are different things.
I'm not talking about corny.
Okay.
I'm talking about someone that lives within the bounds of their whatever they think their life is supposed to be.
Okay.
To me,
Did
is
you
living.
find anything on the?
I found a couple little things. Square is slang for a person who is conventional, old-fashioned. It says, but then it says things like unexciting, unadventurous, mainstream. Generally used describing a person who plays it safe.
Okay. Yeah.
You know?
Playing it safe could be literally just playing it safe with not changing, not healing, doing the things that is predictable. Playing it mainstream. Mainstream is pretty predictable. And that's what I was saying. I know the difference between a square. I know the difference between corny. I know the difference between someone who...
I don't. So I just need to clarify the
I think
slang.
everybody
I don't
has
use
their own
square on
reasons.
a regular
I don't think
basis.
square and I don't think square and nerd are synonymous.
But back to what I was saying is as far as this person goes, is that he thinks that he would rather his daughter date someone like Future versus someone like Russell Wilson. Wilson, right? That's his name. Yeah. And I was just like, wow, I'm scared for his daughter.
I think that guy wants to date Future. So that's
Yeah.
really,
That's true.
Like he's dick riding.
Yeah, it's a lot of men that don't even like women, and they not and
And they'll never say that, but it's clear.
Yeah.
they're not
even-
necessarily gay.
Yeah.
They just don't like.
They just hate women.
Yeah, and I don't know where they like.
I think it's usually from like a bad relationship with their mother
Sure.
or seeing a certain pattern growing up. I
Yeah.
feel like I've dated people like this that really think they love women, but show all the time that by the way they speak of them, speak to them. Like even you would think as a father of a daughter that you would at some point evolve in a way that says, damn, this little girl is going to eventually be a woman. What does that look like? What do I want her to like date, how I want her to date? But everyone doesn't have that maturity level, and like that person is, he's a dick rider. So
Yeah, there it is. A lot of these men out here, and I think this is what allows me to stand out. Like a lot of these men that's out here talking about relationships and giving relationships advice, they be like, bro, where's y'all woman? Like, where's your woman? Where's your wife? Where's your girlfriend? Like, you talking about, you're rating all these women. Where's your beautiful woman? Like, where's your wife? Where's your proof that you walk it like that you walk it like you talk it? Like,
and if you have a wife, because I think this person does have a person, and but like, what is this person thinking of the rhetoric that you're spreading on the internet? If you're blatantly disrespecting women publicly and you have a woman, what does that look like for you at home?
how much does she actually love herself?
How much does she actually love herself?
What does she think of herself?
That's my question. Yeah. So
The questions are fun.
you pulled up tarot card earlier.
I did.
It was the Queen of Pentacles. The Pentacles is usually for tangible things like money. It means nurturing, practical, providing financially, and a working parent.
It sounds like me.
Right. It says, the Queen of Pentacles is the nurturing mother of the material world. At home, she shows her love for others by cooking nutritious meals, maintaining a clean and inviting home, and giving warm cuddles to those who need it most. She is also able to work a full-time job and make financial contribution to the household, often as the primary breadwinner. She is masterful at taking care of the practical needs of work, home, and family, while also giving her love and support to those she cares about. That sounds like you dedicating your 1 hour to talk.
Yeah.
When the Queen of Pentacles appears in a tarot reading, you are embodying the ultimate working parent archetype. You care for your family and domestic responsibilities while also making a living for yourself and creating financial abundance. You can maintain a healthy balance between home and work by integrating the two and finding your place of flow and alignment. You strive to create a warm and secure environment for your family and loved ones while giving your love and support freely.
That's dope.
Does that sound accurate to you?
Yeah, I mean,
You cook?
yeah,
Not you cook.
I can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That sounds like I can, but I don't.
yeah, I don't. My wife's from Houston, Texas.
I should be thrown down.
Yeah, like it's me being in the kitchen is laughable, but she likes it. Like when I hate going in the kitchen because she's gonna beat it down. She'll be like, oh, "What? You gonna make breakfast next weekend?" 'Cause I get busy on breakfast. Right? I kind of do my thing with breakfast. But it's like, wow. I feel like I'm being laughed at while I'm in the kitchen. You know what I mean? And she really just thinks it's just the sexiest romantic shit in the world. And so I'll go jump in there really just for fun. But she really cooked. Like Brooke really, really cooked. So I'd be like, man, like what am I in here for? Like what am I trying to prove?
You just chop up some onions or something.
You know what I mean? I'll help. I'll cook with you. But yeah, she gets busy. So when she has time to get in the kitchen and she got her Creole dishes and she has her healthy options and
Damn, do we need to come over?
Brooke,
I know.
When is Brooke making dinner?
yeah. I want to let y'all know for sure.
Do we have a Hoary today?
Yeah, we can share one. Let's see. We have a Hoary from our Discord. You guys, if you haven't joined Discord, make sure you go check out our Discord. We have lots of women over there connecting, talking, sharing. If you don't know what a horror story is, it's a highly horrific, hoish tale. And this one is submitted by she's an OG of the show. Recently married. Okay, so I finally manifested my A1 type of marriage. My wife and I had our first group sex experience together. Her first one ever. And for me, I've always enjoyed group sex, but in relationships with insecure or less mature people who only wanted monogamous relationships. So having a wife who trusts me and knows me so well take the leap with me was so beautiful. We fucked another couple, one guy, one girl, and it was so hot. They spent all day with us celebrating Pride, and we popped a Molly and started four-way kissing in the club and shit. Eventually left to smoke a blunt, and they came back home with us. It was like a pussy buffet. The guy was so respectful, just watching all three girls play until he was asked to come fuck us. Jeez. So hot to see another woman going down on my wife. We stayed up till 5:30 having all types of sex. I slept for 3 hours in a big cuddle puddle, and then went to pick up our daughter at her sleepover. I love this. When I got back to the house, they played with my kid for 2 hours while my wife and I showered and made breakfast. It was so cute, loving, and hot. One step closer to bringing that commune life into fruition.
Beautiful.
Wow, that sounds so crazy to me.
That sounds beautiful. Sounds beautiful to me.
Live your life, girl.
Yeah, you gotta have balance even in marriage. And that sounds like a beautiful, balanced marriage to me.
It sounds like they've communicated what their needs are and they're living their truth.
It was like overwhelming for me.
He's like, whoa.
This happened?
Yeah, it was a lot. Like that was a lot.
Our tribe is pretty spicy. We have a spicy tribe.
So
See, I'm not a spicy guy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm very.
Are you a square?
Yeah. I hope so. I've really I strive to be, a square. My life as a kid was like pretty wild. You know what I mean? Like I grew up in the streets like most of us. Like I got kicked out of high school. I got kicked out of continuation school. I got kicked out of adult school. Who gets kicked out of adult school?
Right, you're an adult.
Yeah, so, right around 25, 26, things started to click, and I'm just like, you're not gonna make it like this. Like, you're going to jail, or worse, like just like the rest of the homies. You know what I'm saying? And then here I am at 37 years old, and I want to say I made that decision to start. Let's stop playing with fire around like 25, and so, yeah, I've been trying to become more and more square every day, and I stay away from triggers. Stay away from things that send me off.
I could see how that would be beneficial to your evolution, but I think in this case, this is like, I feel like their pleasure is not necessarily. I don't think your pleasure needs to be square in order for you to,
Stick
save your life. I think that, whatever works for you, works for you. This works for them.
Yeah.
And if you have Hoarys you want to share on the Discord, join our Discord, which AKA join our Patreon, AKA.
I don't know if I'm a square in the bedroom.
He's like, hold up.
Well,
Hold
no,
up.
they gonna publicly diss me like this, bitch.
I am, and then I'm not. Like, it's a lot of. Like, I'm a Virgo. It's a lot of things about me that don't even make sense, right? Like, I've never had a threesome in my life.
Do you want to?
I've never had a one night. I don't desire a threesome because I've never had a threesome. I don't know what I'm missing, right? I've heard that they're fun, but I've heard some bad stories. I've never had a one night stand in my life. But then I eat ass. Go figure.
Wow, it's all about balance. Duality.
Duality.
And you know what? Who you are today, I know you said that you're pretty locked in the things, but you never know. You might look up when, you're 50 and you're like, you know what, baby, let's do some new shit. Let's spice it up a little bit.
I don't really like new shit, though.
Okay, well, maybe not.
I like what I like, and I like lots of what I like. I like tons of it.
Well, thank you so much for joining.
It's been a good time.
We appreciate your mind and your take on, we needed a male perspective in here with the brain. So we appreciate you. Thank you for coming to hang out with us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate the space, and you guys are doing an amazing job. Y'all
Thank
keep
you.
killing this shit. You good moms, you.
Thank you.
You good mothers.
Thank you.
We appreciate that.
Can you tell the people where they can find you?
And your book and all that good stuff.
Oh man,
Can I get this book because we just got in relationships and we need the laws.
Well, love laws is a game changer. If you understand the laws, the law of priority, the law of partnership, and the law of pursuit, those are the laws that changed my life, changed my relationship. And if two people apply those, you will have a healthy, harmonious relationship for sure. You can go to just go to my Instagram, Marcus Black MVRCUSBLVCK, or go to my website drblack.com. Yeah.
Dope. And we'll make sure to link all of his information in the episode description. Again, you guys, we are going on tour, so make sure you click the link in our bio to get your tickets if they're not already sold out.
Bring a friend, get a babysitter, and take an Uber.
Yes, take that Uber. Make sure you join our Patreon. We have bonus content there, and you can access to our Discord through Patreon, where I want to say millions. One day it'll be millions, thousands, hundreds, millions and millions of women are connecting every single day on Discord. And you have to click the link in our bio, or you have to go to patreon.com/goodmomsbadchoices, because if you search us on Patreon, apparently we're explicit, so you can't find us there. Rate and review us on Apple Podcast. Give us that 5-star rating, baby. And we'll see you next week.
Love you.
Bye.
You guys are really good at this.